Ever since my son got married, to be fair to both families, we'd draw straws every Memorial Day to decide whose grave we'd visit. But for 8 years straight, he always drew the one for his mother-in-law's, while I had to pay respects to my late husband alone. This year, I stumbled upon 2 of the straws, and found that both slips said mother-in-law's, since his heart is only with his mother-in-law's side. Then I don't want this son anymore. The day before Memorial Day, I made some homemade pastries. My husband loved these when he was alive.
But as soon as I set them on the table, my son tossed his chopsticks aside in disgust. Mom, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't eat those pastries. Can't you hear me?
These are the pastries your dad loved. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. I want you to come with me to visit your dad's grave.
Mom, didn't we agree to draw straws every year to decide where we go? That's the only fair way.
Drawing straws. Again, 8 years, every Memorial Day, it's the same. I never drew the one for my husband, it's always to go to his mother-in-law's. I never dared to ask, afraid he'd get annoyed.
Mom, you pick one. That's the fairest way.
I picked one carefully, hoping it would be for his dad. I opened it, but it still said, mother-in-law's. I felt all my energy drain away. My heart sank. I just nodded, silent. Once I'd picked, he immediately called for his wife, Vivian, and rushed out after packing. No one touched a single pastry on the table. They were getting ready to leave. Arthur bent down to put on his shoes. A crumpled paper slip fell from his pocket. It rolled to my feet. I picked it up. I meant to hand it back to him, but somehow, I unfolded it. I saw the words on it. I froze, right where I stood. That paper clearly said 3 words, mother-in-law's, exactly the same as the one in my hand. So it wasn't just bad luck. He'd been lying to me for 8 whole years. For these 8 years, I drained my pension to support them. I gave them everything they wanted. All I wanted was for him to visit my husband with me, but I never imagined he would stoop so low and trick me like this for 8 years. His family left, laughing and chatting. No one looked back at me. No one noticed the 2 papers in my hand. And no one saw my tears. For 8 years, I was a fool. Coming to my senses, I grabbed the 2 papers and chased after them like a madwoman. Arthur, stop.
Mom, what's all this drama about? We're in a hurry here.
Drama? See for yourself. You call this fair? Both drawers are for my mother-in-law's place. You've been lying to me for 8 years.
What are you talking about, Mom? Maybe I just wrote it twice by mistake. How could I ever lie to you?
Arthur. Mom doesn't blame you. Mom just wants you to go with me to visit Dad's grave. Just this once. Okay.
No. I said we're going to my mother-in-law's, so that's where we're going. Will you stop being so unreasonable? Dad's been gone for so many years now. What's the point of visiting the grave?
His words were like an ice pick, stabbing right through my heart. I watched him turn and leave, without even a word of explanation. In the end, I didn't chase after him. Alone, I took the homemade pastries, and rode the bus to my husband's grave. The wind stung my eyes. I knelt before the headstone and talked to him. As I talked, I started crying. I'm useless. I can't even get my son to visit his father's grave, not even once. As I cried, my phone buzzed. A message popped up in the family group chat. Qingming Martha, Arthur's mother-in-law, had posted a video. I clicked on it. 0Z Negaushikan. I clicked on it and I was totally shocked.
Dad, I've come to see you. Don't worry. I'll take good care of Vivian, my mother-in-law, and the kids. You don't need to worry.
Evelyn, I heard about drawing straws. Please, don't be mad. I've already scolded him.
Can you stop being so childish, Mom? Vivian's dad only has her. If I don't go, who will? What's so hard about you going alone?
At that moment, I was speechless. I didn't want to say anything more. 8 years of lies, 8 years of sacrifice. And in the end, I'm the one called unreasonable. I hung up, looking at my husband's grave. Tears fell silently. Since you don't see me as your mother anymore, then I won't be your free nanny either. I cried for a long time at my husband's grave. All the grievances and resentment from these years, I poured out to him. I thought even if my son was biased, he'd at least have some principles, but I never in a million years thought he'd stoop even lower.
Hey, family, my father-in-law's tombstone is a bit old. I was thinking we should fix it up. The cost isn't much. My mom has a decent pension, so Mom should cover it. What do you all think?
Absolutely.
Evelyn is doing well. Paying a bit isn't a big deal.
Arthur's just trying to be a good son-in-law. I turned to look at my husband's tombstone. It was already weathered. The edges were damaged too. I wanted to fix it up several times, but Arthur stopped me, said it was a waste of money. But I never in my wildest dreams thought he'd be so hung up on a father-in-law he's never even met, even the money for repairing the tomb he's trying to squeeze out of me. I won't pay for it.
Mom, why are you being so cheap? Repairing my father-in-law's tomb won't cost much. How can you be so tight-fisted? What will people think of me?
Then, those relatives jumped in. Some said I was stingy, some said I was unreasonable. Others said I have a pension but don't help my son. Saying, I'm too selfish. Looking at those words on the screen, I just saw red. I've given them everything I've got all these years. My pension was almost all spent on them. Now they not only deceive and blame me, but they're also trying to bleed me dry. Please cancel the automatic payments from my pension card for Arthur's mortgage and car loan. Not long after, the bank sent a text, confirming the automatic payments had been successfully cancelled. I looked at the text, then turned to my husband's tombstone. All those memories flashed before my eyes like scenes from a movie. When Arthur was little and hospitalized, he stayed for over half a month. I stayed by his bedside every day. I couldn't handle any hospital work at all. At that time, the hospital was selecting a new director, and I was the most promising candidate. But to care for my son, I voluntarily gave up the promotion. Later, Arthur married and had a child, but my daughter-in-law Vivian didn't want to raise him, saying it was too exhausting. I felt for my son, so I moved in to help them raise the child. I took care of the child and managed the household, doing laundry, cooking, and cleaning, without a single day of rest. I thought all my sacrifices and efforts would earn me some gratitude from my son, but in the end, all I got was deception. An endless exploitation. As I was thinking, my phone vibrated, and it was a voice message from Arthur.
Mom, you're unbelievable. Just because of a little money, you actually canceled the mortgage and car loan payments. Do you really have to make such a big fuss? Oh, Mom, Vivian, and I want seafood, so hurry home and make a seafood dinner. We'll eat after visiting Dad.
After hearing the message, I couldn't help but smile bitterly. All my decades of effort were worthless in his eyes, like feeding a dog. Then why should I keep sacrificing myself to accommodate them? Why can't I live for myself? I hesitated no longer, found Director Smith's number in my phone, and called. Director Smith, I agree to the re-employment you mentioned earlier. Please help arrange it. After returning from the cemetery, unlike usual, I didn't immediately rush into the kitchen to cook for them. Instead, I made myself a cup of tea. While I was drinking tea, my phone rang. It was a message from the family group chat. I opened it and saw Martha showing off again, posting a photo of a necklace, with Arthur's comment underneath, being overly flattering. As long as my mother-in-law likes it, I'll buy you even better ones in the future. Looking at the shiny necklace in the photo, I thought of the clothes I was wearing that were faded, and my heart ached like it was being pierced by needles. I couldn't bear to buy myself new clothes, nor to eat a good meal. Yet they were spending my money lavishly, and still expected me to serve them without question.
Mom, you can start preparing dinner. We're almost home. The seafood must be fresh. Make the soup thick. Vivian is waiting.
I sneered and slammed down the teacup. I refuse to be this free nanny anymore, and I refuse to swallow my anger anymore. They can cook whatever they want themselves, and find whoever they want to serve them. Not long after, Arthur's family returned. As soon as they entered, they saw only the leftover homemade pastries from breakfast on the table, and nothing else, nothing at all. My daughter-in-law Vivian immediately frowned, her face grim.
Mom, what are you doing? I asked you to make seafood dinner, and you left us this? Are you doing this on purpose?
I ignored her and sat on the sofa without saying a word. Seeing that I remained silent, she got even angrier, took out her phone, and ordered a $300 seafood delivery.
Since you won't cook, I'll just order delivery, and you'll pay. You're paying?
I don't have any money.
No money. Your monthly pension is over $1,200, how come you have no money? Mom, you're so stingy. You won't even order us a seafood delivery. You just get more petty as you get older.
Exactly, Mom. We're running around all day, and we can't even get a decent meal. You're so selfish. You don't care about this family at all.
They kept going on and on, relentlessly blaming me.
Mocking me, pinning all the blame on me.
Looking at their ugly faces, the decades of pent-up grievances and anger could no longer be contained, since you put it that way. Let's settle the score, and see who's been selfish all these years, and who's been scheming against whom.
Settle accounts. What's there to settle? You live in our house. You eat our food. You've been freeloading for years. And you dare to settle accounts with us?
Freeloading? Arthur, search your conscience. Have I really been freeloading these years? My pension is $1,200 a month. I give $800 to help with household expenses, groceries, utilities, property fees. I pay for all of it. Your mortgage and car loan. I help pay them with my pension. You only give me $50 a month. That's not even enough for 3 days of food. And you dare say I'm freeloading?
Mom, how can you say that? We don't charge you rent for the room you live in. You eat the food too. Isn't it fair that you contribute some money?
Exactly. We didn't ask you to pay rent, we've already been more than generous. You contribute some living expenses, help us pay off some loans. What's there to complain about?
Their words were like knives, stabbing my heart.
Arthur. Take good care of your mom in the future. Don't let her suffer.
But now, he not only didn't take care of me, but he exploited me even more. He deceived me. He never said a sincere word.
Mom. I'm warning you. If you keep making trouble like this, I won't provide for your retirement anymore. See what you'll do when you're old.
After hearing that, I actually laughed. Provide for my retirement. From the moment I decided to cut off financial support, I never expected him to provide for my retirement. That night, they had their fill of yelling.
Then just went back to their rooms and slept. No one bothered with me.
And nobody mentioned settling the score again. I sat on the sofa, thinking all night. I finally decided to leave this house. To leave this place that broke my heart, where I'd given decades, and ended up with nothing. I quietly slipped into my room. I packed a simple bag, just some clothes to change into and photos of my husband. I didn't take a single thing from this house. Because everything here made me sick. After I packed, my phone buzzed. It was a message from Arthur.
Mom, get up early tomorrow. Remember to fix Vivian some chicken soup, and go downstairs to buy 2 baskets of soup dumplings. Leo loves them.
Seeing this, I let out a cold laugh. Even now, he still hadn't figured it out. He was still ordering me around like it was nothing. I didn't reply. I went straight to my contacts. I deleted all of Arthur and Vivian's contact info, including their WeChat and phone numbers. After that, I picked up my bag and gently pushed open the front door. The night was still. A breeze blew, but I didn't feel sad. Instead, I felt a sense of relief I'd never known. I took one last look at this house I'd lived in for over a decade. No attachment. I turned away and walked step by step into the night. I was headed back to my hometown. To the place filled with memories of my husband and me, where I could finally find peace. To start a new life of my own. Early the next morning, Arthur's family woke up. They found I wasn't home.
There was no breakfast on the table either. Where's Mom? Why didn't she make breakfast?
At her age, she actually has the nerve to pull this stunt. Just wait till I deal with her.
They searched around, furious. The living room, kitchen, and balcony. I was nowhere to be found. It wasn't until they entered my room and saw the empty wardrobe and desk that they truly panicked. I was really gone. Without any attachment. Arthur stared at my empty room, furious and panicking. He was calling me heartless while frantically calling my phone. He was texting me too. But no matter how hard he tried, he was blocked. He was pacing the room like a caged animal. For the first time, he looked truly panicked.
Arthur, do you think Mom really ran away? What if she's gone for good?
No way. At her age, where's she gonna go without us? She's definitely hiding, to make us cave. Once she cools off, she'll come crawling back.
With school time approaching, Leo was throwing a fit for soup dumplings and screaming for grandma. The 3 of them were a complete mess. No one could make breakfast, and no one remembered to pack Leo's school bag.
After all that chaos, they finally rushed Leo off to school.
The whole way there, they were blaming each other, a total disaster. As for me, I was already on a bus back to my hometown. As the bus pulled away, I looked at the scenery outside the window. I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. For the first time in decades, I felt truly, completely free. No more worrying about them, no more putting up with their nonsense. Back in my hometown, I tidied up the old house, looking at the flowers in the yard. My heart was finally at peace. Right then, the family group chat blew up again. Arthur and Vivian teamed up with those busybody relatives and started bad-mouthing me in the chat. They called me heartless and selfish, abandoning a perfectly good life to run away from home. They even said I was ungrateful. Reading the messages, I wasn't even angry. I felt completely calm. I typed a clear message right in the group. Every single word was crystal clear. Clear as day. A good life. Did you ever stop to think if times was living well? Now you're finding out the hard way. There's no one running around doing everything for you. So you're starting to sweat. Starting to panic. Arthur hurriedly took Leo to school, and he kept scolding me the whole way, saying I was heartless and unreasonable, refusing to be a good nanny and insisting on running away from home. As soon as he got home, his phone rang. It was a voice message from Martha.
Arthur, don't be mad. Your mom is old and doesn't know better, so don't take it to heart. I'll go over right now to cook for you and Leo, so you won't be wronged.
So you won't be wronged, but she only causes trouble and does nothing useful. Unlike you who truly care for the younger generation.
I was cleaning up the yard at my old home when my phone suddenly rang, and it was Director Smith calling.
Evelyn, I have good news for you. As the hospital has drafted the letter of appointment for the new director, so come to the hospital this afternoon to sign it, and you can officially take office tomorrow.
After hearing that, I was so excited I couldn't speak, and tears immediately fell from my eyes. For so many years, I gave up promotions for my son and abandoned my own career, but now, I can finally return to my original aspirations and be myself again. That afternoon, I had some free time. I walked into the kitchen and made myself a favorite dish, spicy fried chicken. Looking at the red chilies in the pan, smelling that familiar aroma, I was suddenly overwhelmed. All these years, to accommodate Arthur's family, since they don't eat spicy food, I never made spicy fried chicken again. I even had to keep my favorite dishes to myself, always accommodating them, carefully. Now, I can finally do as I please. Cook the food I love, without having to worry about anyone's opinion. Meanwhile, on Arthur's side, the family group chat was buzzing again.
Arthur posted several photos.
There were fruits and snacks Martha brought over, and some nutritional supplements. The caption read, "My mother-in-law really cares about me. She knows the three of us have no one to look after us, so she came over specially and brought so many good things." Right after that, Arthur transferred $80 to Martha. He posted in the group, "This is what they call love given, love returned, I watered it." Arthur seemed to be proving to everyone that without me, their lives would be better. Martha was also very happy. She rolled up her sleeves and went into the kitchen wanting to show off her cooking skills. But she doesn't know how to cook at all. She looked clumsy even holding a spatula. She accidentally poured too much oil. Thick smoke instantly billowed from the pan,
making her scream in fright.
She made a complete mess of the kitchen. The food was burnt. Oil splattered everywhere.
I haven't cooked for a while, I'm just rusty. I can cook.
Quick, pose like you're cooking, let me snap a pic. Show everyone how awesome my mother-in-law is.
As Martha hurried to pose, she didn't notice the oil spill on the floor. Her foot slipped, and she fell heavily to the ground, letting out a sharp cry.
Martha had a bad fall. Arthur and Vivian rushed her to the hospital. After the examination, the doctor said my mom had sprained her back. She needs to rest in bed for a while. She can't do any heavy lifting.
My mom can't be left without someone to take care of her. How about we hire a caregiver? Otherwise, we still have Leo to look after at home. And you have to go to work. We just can't handle it all.
Hire a caregiver? That's expensive and a hassle. Isn't my mom the perfect free caregiver right here? Call her, tell her your mom is injured, and she needs to come to the hospital to take care of her right away. If she dares not show up, then she can forget about me, providing for her retirement later.
Although Vivian was reluctant, she still listened to Arthur.
And called me. My mom is injured. At the hospital. Arthur wants you to come over right away to take care of her.
I listened to her entitled tone. My heart turned cold. I didn't hesitate for a moment. I refused outright. Why should I go? I have no obligation to take care of her. Arthur found out I refused. He flew into a rage. He started yelling in the hospital corridor. He called me heartless and ungrateful. Finally, gritting his teeth, he decided to go back to our hometown himself. He wanted to forcibly bring me over.
That afternoon, I got ready and headed to the hospital on time to sign the papers. I'd just stepped into the hospital corridor
when I spotted a familiar figure. It was Arthur. He was fuming, cursing me non-stop.
We ran right into each other. The moment Arthur saw me, his eyes lit up. He grabbed me by the arm.
I knew you'd come. You can't live without us. You can't live without this family either.
Don't flatter yourself. I'm here to start my new job at the hospital, not to take care of Martha.
But Arthur wouldn't listen. He kept a death grip on my arm,
dragging me toward Martha's room. Cut the act. You're old. No one would hire you as a cleaner. Go take care of my mother-in-law. That's your duty as family.
Seeing Martha's smug face in the hospital bed, I felt my anger boil over again.
Arthur dragged me into the room. He immediately got this smug look on his face.
See? I told you so. My mom's all bark and no bite. She came to take care of your mom on her own. Now that she's here, your mom can focus on getting better.
Evelyn, please don't be mad. Arthur, Vivian, and I were wrong before to talk back to you like that. If you don't want to take care of me, that's fine. We can just hire a caregiver.
That's what she said, but her eyes said otherwise. She was sure I wouldn't abandon them. Cut the crap. I'm not here to take care of you. Your son-in-law, Arthur, dragged me in here. Mom.
How can you talk like that? My mother-in-law is being nice, and you're snapping at her? Besides, if you hadn't run off, would my mother-in-law have gotten hurt? Apologize to her. Now, or you're not leaving.
I didn't do anything wrong. Why should I apologize? With that, I turned to leave. But Arthur grabbed me and stopped me.
Mom, I'm offering you a way out here. You just take good care of my mother-in-law, and once she's better, I promise I'll provide for your retirement. I won't go back on my word. See how good I am to my mother-in-law? If you just do as you're told, I'll treat you right too.
His words instantly brought back memories. Back when I threw out my back cooking, I was in so much pain I couldn't even stand up straight. He wouldn't even buy me a few dollars worth of medicine.
He snapped that I was being dramatic.
And told me to hurry up and get dinner ready.
Said Leo was waiting for dinner.
You want to upgrade your mother-in-law's room, that's your business. It has nothing to do with me. And I don't need you to provide for my retirement. Don't you dare use that to threaten me. Arthur was left speechless by my words. Right then, a nurse came over and asked Arthur to pay for the VIP ward upgrade. Arthur dragged me, Vivian, and Martha to the billing department. Then, he handed his card to the nurse. Looking at Arthur's card, I couldn't help but sneer inside. I froze that card a long time ago. It won't go through. Soon, the nurse handed the card back, saying it was frozen. She asked if he had another card.
Arthur's face went pale. Was it you? You froze my card?
That was my supplementary credit card to begin with. That's my pension in there. I have every right to use it. That was my supplementary credit card to begin with. Arthur just wouldn't give up. He swiped one card after another, but every single one got declined. The people in line were all staring at him.
Broke, but putting on a show. He upgraded his mother-in-law to a VIP ward, but couldn't even pay the bill.
Arthur, can you do it or not? Stop pretending to be something you're not. Don't make a scene here.
Evelyn, how can you be so petty? You froze my cards on purpose, just to humiliate me in public. You're so heartless.
Mom, you're so cold-hearted. My mom is still sick. How could you do this to Arthur?
The onlookers were swayed by them and started pointing fingers at me.
Some called me heartless. Some said I was cruel to my own son.
Looking at this scene before me, all my pent-up anger and frustration just exploded. I couldn't hold back and exposed everything. All these years, have you ever really treated me as family? I gave $800 every month for household expenses. I even paid Arthur's mortgage and car loan. And in return, all I got was a measly $50 a month, and your constant put-downs. All you ever did was scheme against me and take advantage of me. I've had enough of this. Today, I'm going to let everyone see who you really are. The billing department was bustling with people. Passers-by kept stopping to stare at us. Arthur was gripping my arm tightly.
His knuckles were turning white. You're just being petty, Mom. Jealous of my mother-in-law. Look. If you just pay for the hospital room and hand over your bank card, I'll always be on your side from now on, deal?
Evelyn, what's the big deal if a mother spends money on her kid? Do you really have to be so cheap about it?
Mom, just pay up, will you? Don't embarrass us in front of everyone.
Watching the three of them team up against me made my blood boil. I won't spend another dime on you. I want nothing to do with this family anymore.
You're my mother. That's your job as my mother. If you don't treat me well now, who's going to take care of you when you're old?
I don't need a thankless son like you. All you do is bleed me dry. Arthur's face flushed red with anger. He was left speechless.
Vivian saw this
and quickly linked her arm with his. She complained that I was being too harsh.
What kind of mother is this stingy?
You won't even pay this little bit. If it's such a small amount to you, why don't you pay it yourself?
I didn't even ask for this hospital room. Where would I get the money?
Right? Where would my mother-in-law get the money? Just hand over the card, now.
Arthur's furious roar echoed through the billing department. It drew even more onlookers. The whispers from the bystanders grew louder.
I give you $50 a month for your living expenses. I cover all your food and living costs. What more do you want from me? How much longer are you going to keep this up?
You give me $50 a month, but I'm shelling out $2,000 on you guys every month. I'd be better off raising a dog.
Humiliated and enraged, Arthur
pointed at me and called me selfish, but from today on, my money is for me and me alone. With that, I turned and left. I ignored his threats from behind.
A furious scream from Martha cut through the air.
Left with no choice,
Arthur pulled out his credit card. He reluctantly paid Martha's bill.
But in his heart, he was still sure I'd come crawling back to him eventually. I walked into the director's office. The director could see I was troubled.
Dr. Hayes, don't worry about your son anymore. You've given up too much for them. It's time you started living for yourself.
I was quiet for a moment. Thinking of all the grievances over the years, my eyes grew steady with resolve. I took the letter of appointment from Director Smith. I signed my name with solemn purpose. A long-lost, easy smile finally spread across my face. That week I felt so free and relaxed. I went to the hospital every day and got used to my new job. After work, I'd head back to my old place in the countryside and cook whatever I wanted. I'd talk to the photo of my husband. I cut off all contact with Arthur and his family. No more dealing with their moods or biting my tongue. One day, Vivian came home, dragging Leo who was crying his eyes out. She stormed in and threw her bag on the sofa. She turned to Arthur, sitting on the couch scrolling through his phone, and yelled,
Arthur, you need to get your mom back to take Leo to school. I'm taking off work every single day, and my boss is already pissed. If this keeps up, I'm going to get fired.
What's the rush? She can't survive without us. She'll come crawling back sooner or later.
Arthur tried to sound confident, but couldn't hide his unease. Their argument got hotter and hotter. Leo was so scared he started wailing.
If your mom doesn't come back soon, the mortgage and the car loan, how are we gonna pay for them? And how are you gonna pay back your credit card overdraft? How?
But Arthur stayed stubborn.
He insisted, don't worry.
Once she's suffered enough out there, she'll beg us to let her back in.
Just then, his phone chimed. Arthur's face lit up with excitement. He thought it was his mom calling.
See? My mom's calling. Right on time. Arthur quickly grabbed his phone.
But when he saw that it was a payment reminder,
The smile on his face vanished instantly.
he muttered under his breath.
How is this possible?
The mortgage and car loan are due. If you don't come up with the money right now, they'll take our house and our car.
Relax, I'll figure something out. Worst case, I'll just ask Mom for it. He turned to test Martha's reaction. Mom, how about you spot us some cash to get by? We'll pay you right back once my mom comes around.
Puffed.
My pension is barely enough for me to live on. Got nothing extra. You were the one who said I should come enjoy my golden years. And now you expect me to chip in? Pa.
After being rejected, Arthur had no choice but to take Leo's phone and send me a threatening voice note.
Mom, hand over your pension card right now. I need it for the mortgage and car loan. Otherwise, you'll be on your own when you're old.
Meanwhile, in the hospital conference room, I was presenting the case and surgical plan to Director Smith and the doctors. The main issue is a vascular blockage. We'll begin with interventional therapy, followed by medication. It has the lowest risk and the fastest recovery time.
The plan is very sound. You haven't lost your touch. The hospital has decided to hold a director inauguration press conference tomorrow, officially naming you as the new director.
I was stunned for a second, then I smiled. Just then, my phone vibrated. I opened the voice note from Arthur. My face fell. Don't come looking for me. I told you, I won't give you a dime.
Don't let those people drag you down. Just focus on your work.
I nodded, hesitating. Then I deleted my grandson Leo's WeChat, completely cutting off contact with them. The Zhou household was tense.
Arthur couldn't reach me. Collection notices kept coming.
He was freaking out.
Vivian urged him to go back home and beg for forgiveness. But Arthur refused, too proud to do so. He applied for a salary advance at his company,
But was turned down by his boss.
Unless you get the new hospital director for an exclusive interview, you won't get your performance bonus this month either.
Arthur instantly deflated. He had no idea who the new director was. Vivian suggested.
Her mom has connections at the hospital. I'll ask her to find out about the new director. We might score that interview.
Arthur's eyes lit up. He nodded in agreement. But deep down, he resented me for putting him in this situation. The next day, Arthur and Vivian brought Martha and Leo along to the director inauguration press conference.
Arthur saw a
Woman in a lab coat, surrounded by staff.
Excuse me, do you know who the new director is? We'd like to do an interview.
The woman slowly turned around. The three of them froze on the spot. That poised, determined-looking woman was me. Arthur stood there, mouth agape, speechless. He never expected that the mother he treated as a free nanny was actually the new director of the city hospital.
He never imagined the mother he used as a free nanny would be the new hospital director. The venue was packed for the press conference. Staff was setting things up. Guests were chatting in small groups. Arthur and Vivian, with Martha and Leo in tow.
Took a long moment to snap out of it.
Their eyes were glued to me.
Wearing a lab coat right here. If you don't have the skills, don't take the job. Even a cleaner needs the right uniform.
He deliberately raised his voice, drawing the attention of nearby guests. Martha walked up with her cane.
Evelyn, I'm telling you, you should come home with us right now.
Mom, stop being stubborn. Just come back with us. Leo's waiting for you.
To pay our mortgage. Taking care of the kid, that's your real job.
I'm not going back with you. And I won't give you another cent. Your problems are none of my business. With that, I turned to leave. But Arthur immediately stopped me. His mocking look switched to a look of hurt. He shouted to the guests around him.
Everyone, come and judge this. This is my mom. She doesn't give a damn if my kid and I live or die. I could let that slide. But she took the money and ran out on us, leaving us buried in debt. And now she won't even acknowledge us. I ask you, what kind of mother does that?
The guests started crowding around.
Pointing and whispering non-stop.
The chatter was endless.
Arthur saw more people gathering. He quickly pulled Vivian and Martha aside. He whispered to them.
Mom's biggest weakness is her pride. If everyone starts criticizing her, she'll cave in for sure. And give up her pension card.
We're really desperate here. We can't even pay the mortgage or the car loan. And Leo's got no one to take care of him. How can she, as my own mother, be so cruel?
Please, help me get more people here.
I'll make sure you're rewarded properly later. Come and see, everyone. This lady here is ignoring her own son and grandson. She took all the money and ran away. That's just heartless.
Soon, even more bystanders gathered. Arthur stood right in the center of the crowd. He twisted the truth to the crowd.
My mom took her pension and ran away. She left us buried in debt. We can't even afford Leo's tuition now. How are we supposed to live?
Vivian stood nearby, wiping away her tears. She echoed his words.
Arthur looked at the crowd surrounding him. He was secretly smug. He was certain I'd give in. The onlookers were fooled by his lies. They all called me heartless and selfish. Some even pulled out their phones to record. Don't listen to their lies. That money is my pension. I didn't steal the money and run. They've been sponging off my money. I'm tired of being exploited.
I had barely finished speaking when reporter Chin interrupted me. Ma'am, you claim the money is yours? Do you have proof?
I didn't bring the credit card statements. I couldn't argue back right then.
Mom, don't keep fighting. Give me the pension card, and I'll stop, or your reputation will be ruined forever.
You're lying about me for money. You don't even care about our mother-son bond. You're not worthy of being my son.
Arthur was humiliated and furious.
He yelled at the crowd.
Look, she's still refusing to admit it.
The farce completely escalated. The press conference instantly descended into complete chaos.
This farce is getting worse. Martha sees this and quickly pulls Leo forward.
Pretends to mediate. Everyone, stop arguing. We're all family. Let's talk this out calmly.
Everyone, look. My mom doesn't even care about her own grandson. She doesn't even care that the child is crying like this. What is this if not child abuse?
The bribed reporter Chen also seizes the chance to stir things up.
As a grandmother, she doesn't care about her son or grandson. She only cares about her own pleasure. That's just too much.
My mom has always been hard on me. She never cared about family ties. She treats us like ATMs. And now she wants to wash her hands of it completely. What kind of mother does that?
You've gone too far. You're twisting the truth. The more I think about it, the angrier I get. I suddenly remember that I have saved on my phone the voice recording of Arthur threatening me. I immediately pull out my phone. I hit play. Arthur's voice blasted from my phone. Every single word was threatening me to hand over my pension card or he'd refuse to provide for my retirement. Arthur heard that recording.
His face went deathly pale. Journalist Chen saw the situation turning bad.
He knew his lies were about to be exposed. He quickly stashed his mic.
He turned and slipped away. Just then, Director Smith strode over. His expression was stern. He snapped at Arthur and his family.
What are you doing? This is the new director inauguration press conference. It's not a place for you to cause trouble.
Arthur recognized Director Smith.
He instantly switched to a groveling tone.
Director Smith, you gotta hear this. My mom refuses to help us with our mortgage and car loan. She doesn't care if we live or die.
We had no other choice but to come here, Vivian chimed in, pleading. She hoped Director Smith would talk me into it.
I've heard for a long time your family's been exploiting Dr. Hayes. Her pension was all taken by you to pay off debts and splurge. She has the right to control her own money. She has no obligation to keep supporting you. You should learn to be grateful. Don't push it.
As soon as Director Smith finished speaking,
the crowd instantly went wild. He's lying. Don't listen to him.
My mom and Director Smith are having an affair. That's why he's backing her up. She's just an old woman. How could she ever become a director?
Martha and Vivian chimed in, smearing me along with him. I couldn't take it anymore. I stepped up and slapped Arthur. I said firmly, I gave you my whole life, and what I got in return was your constant slander and schemes. You're absolutely shameless. Director Smith was furious, his face pale with rage. He picked up the microphone and solemnly announced to everyone.
I officially announce that Evelyn Hayes is the new director of our city hospital. This is the letter of appointment. Everyone can take a look.
Arthur, Vivian, and Martha stared at the letter of appointment, completely stunned, standing there speechless. The accusations around them grew louder, and they became the target of everyone's scorn.
Impossible. You're really the director? And you even get a $300,000 bonus?
Dr. Hayes is a nationally renowned neurologist. The neurological treatment plan she developed back then is still being implemented in hospitals across the country. Such an accomplished person has been serving as a free nanny in your household all this time. You didn't appreciate her contributions and even subjected her to humiliation and exploitation. Do you even have a conscience?
Dr. Zhao also stepped forward to join in.
Addressing the crowd. Dr. Hayes, for her family back then,
Gave up so much.
yet you treated her as a free nanny and a cash cow. You're truly a pack of ungrateful wolves, Arthur, Vivian, and Martha.
Were left speechless, their faces flushing and paling, in utter embarrassment.
I only give Mom $50 a month for her living expenses. It's her who's heartless. She won't lift a finger to help us.
$50. I'm the one giving you $2,000 every month to cover your mortgage and car loan. All the money I've spent on you over the years. Do you even have any idea how much that is? The crowd erupted in shock.
They all started calling Arthur and his family shameless and ungrateful.
I hardened my heart.
I shouted to the security guard nearby.
Get them out. Don't let them cause trouble here anymore.
Arthur was grabbed by the security guards.
In a flash of desperation,
He suddenly broke free from the guards.
He rushed over and hugged Leo, then walked up to us. Mom, Leo is still so young. He's your grandson. Can't you do it for Leo's sake? Please help us.
Seeing Leo's little face, I was really touched. Vivian and Martha pleaded with me, hoping I'd give them another chance.
Dr. Hayes, for the child's sake, please give them another chance to start fresh.
I took a deep breath, reaching out to touch Leo's head, ready to forgive them. But just then, Leo suddenly cheered.
Awesome! Grandma's not mad anymore! Now we'll have someone to cook and pay our debts again and be our free nanny!
What are you talking about?
Mom, he's just a kid. He's just babbling. Please don't take it to heart.
My hand froze right there. All that softness in my heart just turned into pure disappointment. Get them out. Don't let them anywhere near the hospital again. Or me. Security immediately stepped forward. They completely kicked out Arthur and his family, who were still begging. Security hauled them out of the venue. Arthur stopped pretending. He showed his true colors. He kept screaming threats all the way out.
Don't think you've won, Evelyn. Your money will be mine sooner or later. You'll regret this someday.
I took a deep breath and calmed the storm inside me. Then I dialed Mr. Davis again. Mr. Davis, please draft the severance agreement as soon as possible and help me recover everything I've given to Arthur and his family over the years. I want everything that's mine back. After I hung up, I tidied up my clothes and walked up to the stage. Facing the guests and my colleagues, I made a solemn vow. From now on, I will give myself completely to my work at the hospital. I will spend the rest of my life saving more people and living up to everyone's trust. The moment I finished, the room erupted in thunderous applause. Arthur's scheme against me blew up online. When his company found out, they fired him immediately. They also issued a public statement condemning his disgraceful behavior. Vivian got dragged into it too, and got suspended from work. Her future's up in the air. Martha felt so ashamed about this that she hid at home, too scared to go out. The family's debt kept growing. Arthur and Vivian started blaming each other, arguing non-stop, and shoving all the blame onto the other. In the middle of the fight, Martha suddenly suggested
that they could sell Evelyn and Richard's old house to pay off the debt first.
Which made Arthur's eyes light up. He dug out the old house's deed and saw his name on it. He decided to sell the house on the spot. Vivian grabbed her phone to call a real estate agent. They were desperate to unload it. I went to the law firm and handed over every transfer record I'd made to Arthur and his family over the past 10 years and all the bank statements to Mr. Davis. Once everything was tallied up, the total came to $200,000. Just then, my phone went off. A message from a neighbor saying Arthur was planning to sell the old house I shared with my husband, Richard. I looked at the message, showing not a single emotion on my face. I knew he'd pull something like this.
Miss Hayes, the old house has already been transferred to Arthur's name. Going through the usual legal channels, it'd be very hard to get it back.
This is the property deed of gift from 5 years ago. It clearly states that if Arthur fails his duty of support, the gift is void, and the property ownership reverts to me. After reading the agreement, Mr. Davis nodded.
Perfect. With this, we're in a strong position. I'll file for an asset preservation order right away to freeze all of Arthur's bank accounts, stopping him from selling the old house. And I'll help you recover all the assets he's wasted.
Arthur and Vivian are at the real estate agency. They finally negotiate a deal with the buyer. They agree to sell the old house for $120,000. Once the papers are signed, the buyer pulls out his phone to scan and pay. But the screen keeps flashing, transaction failed. Arthur is in a panic. He checks his own phone. His account's frozen too. He immediately calls the bank's customer service. The agent informs him, "Your account's been frozen over a property debt dispute. Miss Hayes has requested the freeze. It's temporarily unavailable." Arthur and Vivian instantly flush with rage. They're both convinced I'm deliberately sabotaging them, cutting off their escape. Arthur grits his teeth and says,
Let's go. We're going to settle the score with Evelyn. If she won't let us live in peace, then she won't have any peace either.
After saying that, fuming with anger, they storm out of the agency. Arthur and Vivian came storming to my old house, pounding on the door like maniacs, and yelling at me the whole time.
Evelyn, open the door. I know you're in there. Stop playing dead in there. How dare you keep our house from us and freeze my account?
Evelyn.
I opened the door calmly. Looking at their furious faces, I spoke in a flat and cold voice. This house has always been mine. I decide if it gets sold, and I have the right to protect my own property. Arthur immediately pulled out the property deed. He shouted, furious,
Look carefully. My name is on the deed. This house is mine. Either you let me sell this house, or you give me $150,000. Otherwise, this isn't over.
I gave a cold laugh. My eyes were icy. You owe me $200,000. How dare you act tough with me? Let me make this clear, Arthur. I'm not just taking back the house. I'm taking legal action to hold you accountable. You will repay every cent you owe. My words left Arthur speechless. Then, he got furious and humiliated. He pointed at me and yelled,
That's a lie. I clearly gave you $50 every month for your living expenses. I've done my duty of support.
Vivian chimed in.
Exactly. As a mother, it's only natural to spend money on your son. Why on earth should we pay you back? You're being completely unreasonable.
I stared them down. Whether you've done your duty of support, the court will decide. It's not for you to say. And I'll take legal action to get back what's mine. Arthur wasn't having it.
Call the cops. Let the cops sort this out. I don't believe for a second the police will take her side.
Vivian immediately pulled out her phone and called the police, waiting for the police to come and set things right.
The police arrived quickly. Arthur acted like a drowning man clutching at a straw. He rushed forward and handed over the deed. He blurted out urgently,
Officer, look. The house is under my name. But my mom, Evelyn, is holding onto it and refuses to give it back. She even froze my bank account.
Calmly, I took out that property deed of gift and handed it to the police.
Officer, this is an agreement I signed with Arthur 5 years ago.
It clearly states
that if he fails his duty of support, the gift is revoked, and the property ownership reverts to me.
Once the cops heard our story, they took the agreement and scrutinized it. A moment later, one officer said sternly,
This agreement is legally binding. It has legal effect. According to its terms, Arthur did not fulfill his duty of support. The gift conditions have failed. The ownership of this house indeed belongs to Miss Hayes. There is no occupation or extortion happening here. No such thing exists.
Arthur and Vivian were stunned. Their faces were full of disbelief. Vivian snapped out of it and immediately changed her tune. She immediately turned to me and said,
Even if the house is yours, we've lived here for so long. You owe us rent for all this time. Otherwise, we're not leaving.
I shot back coldly. Every month, I've been paying your mortgage. Now you're asking me for rent. In your dreams.
Arthur comes to his senses and avoids eye contact as he defends himself.
I had no idea there were these clauses in the agreement. I just signed it casually back then. It doesn't
The
count.
officer's expression turns stern
as he speaks seriously.
You signed the agreement voluntarily. It takes effect upon signing. There's no such thing as a casual signature that doesn't count. This agreement is legally valid. You must fulfill it.
Right at that moment, Mr. Davis arrives at the scene, holding a stack of documents and a USB drive. He addresses the officer.
Officer, I am Miss Hayes' lawyer. Here is all the evidence of Arthur's family exploiting Miss Hayes. Mr. Davis produces credit card statements
and transfer records one by one.
And a voice recording of Arthur threatening me.
Videos of them causing trouble, filmed by bystanders. They clearly prove that Arthur not only failed his duty of support but also exploited me long-term and schemed for my assets.
The officer finishes reviewing the evidence. The officer questions Arthur sternly.
All this evidence is right in front of you. What do you have to say for yourself?
Arthur turns pale,
Panics,
unable to utter a word, and can only lower his head in feeble rebuttal.
seeing Arthur and Vivian looking like a total mess. Officer, please get these two out of my house and ban them from ever coming back. I don't want them bothering me ever again. Hearing this,
Arthur instantly lost his cool. He screamed at me, Evelyn, don't be so cruel. I'm your son, you'll need me to provide for your retirement.
I don't need you to provide for my retirement. My life is none of your business. From now on, we're done.
Alright, since you're so cruel, let's disown each other. I won't call you mom ever again. When you're old and have nobody to care for you, don't come crying to me.
I let out a cold laugh. Perfect. Then, I turned to Mr. Davis and said, please draft his declaration of severance into a legally binding severance agreement. Let's end this completely. Mr. Davis nodded. He took out a voice recorder. He turned to Arthur and said,
Repeat what you just said, your declaration of severance. I'm recording everything as evidence for the agreement.
Arthur was reluctant, but the words were already out. He had no choice but to repeat himself. The recorder clearly captured his words of severance.
This verbal declaration will serve as the final proof of our complete break.
The police
escorted Arthur and Vivian away.
Then, Mr. Davis and I left the old house. To be honest, I had expected it. Arthur wouldn't agree to cut ties easily. He's proud and greedy. Once provoked, he'd definitely say it himself. So I deliberately provoked him earlier, just to get solid evidence. After hearing this, Mr. Davis nodded. He said approvingly,
Miss Hayes, you've thought of everything. With his verbal declaration and the recording as proof, the legal effect of the severance agreement will be much stronger. I will draft the agreement promptly. Once printed, I'll mail it to Arthur's family. I'll document the entire process to ensure your legal rights are fully protected.
I nodded. A huge weight was lifted from my heart. Once the agreement takes effect, I'll be free from their harassment for good. After being evicted, Arthur, Vivian, and Martha could only rent a shabby, cramped little apartment. Life was a real struggle. Without my financial support, they couldn't even afford basic food and shelter. The calls about the mortgage and debts kept coming non-stop. One day, Vivian received a severance agreement delivered by a courier. She quickly opened it and handed it to Arthur. After reading the terms of the agreement, Arthur learned he had completely lost the right to inherit my assets. There was no chance of getting another cent from me. He broke down instantly.
She really doesn't want me anymore. She really wants to cut ties with me.
Martha watched Arthur's breakdown, her eyes lighting up with a scheme,
and leaned in close to him, lowering her voice
to hatch a plan, saying, what good is crying, Arthur? Why don't we pull a fake death scam? You pretend to commit suicide. When Evelyn finds out, she'll definitely soften up. Then we can take the chance to get her to pay off all our debts. If she refuses, we'll make a scene at the hospital. We'll ruin her reputation.
Arthur and Vivian hesitated for a second, thinking of the dire straits they were in. They finally nodded in agreement. They decided to go all in and carry out this fake death scam. The next day,
I was handling work in my hospital office. Dr. Zhao hurried in. With a troubled expression, he said,
Director Hayes, the emergency room just brought in a patient. The family says it's your son, Arthur. They're saying he killed himself. He's in the emergency room now, but his family refused to let us examine him. They won't budge until you get there.
Hearing this, I wasn't the least bit surprised. It all clicked into place. Arthur, with his back against the wall, had cooked up another scheme. This so-called suicide was just their ploy to play on my sympathy and con me out of my money. I put down my work. I stood up and calmly said to Dr. Zhao, I see, I'll go see for myself. Time to expose their little game and put an end to this once and for all. I walked into the emergency room and spotted Arthur lying there on a bed. He was covered with a white sheet, playing dead, eyes shut tight. Vivian and Martha knelt by the bed, crying hysterically, putting on a show of pure agony. They saw me walk in. Vivian jumped up. Tears still streaming, she handed me a paper.
Mom. Arthur. He's gone. This is his death certificate. Please, Mom. He was your own son. Please, help us.
I grabbed the death certificate and pretended to study it closely. I quickly caught the flaws. The date on it was earlier than Arthur's supposed suicide, a full day earlier. The font was totally crooked. Even the official seal was blurry. It was obviously fake. I quietly observed Arthur lying on the bed, then I noticed his finger gave a little twitch. That sealed it. This was all a carefully planned scam. Vivian and Martha, seeing my silence,
rushed over, clutching my arm to plead. They begged me again and again
to help them pay off all their debt. I played hesitant. I slowly asked, "So how much debt do you still have?" Seeing that I was starting to relent, Vivian instantly lit up and quickly pulled out a stack of overdue bills from her bag,
handing them over and listing each one. Mom, we still owe $180,000 on our mortgage and car loan, $75,000 in credit card overdraft, and $45,000 for Leo's tuition fees. That adds up to $300,000 in total.
I took the overdue bills, glanced at them blankly, and slowly said, "Okay, I'll handle these debts." Vivian and Martha's faces immediately lit up with sheer joy. But then I changed my tone and calmly added, "Arthur just passed away, and his tissues are still fresh. I remember there's a critically ill patient at the hospital whose heart is a perfect match for his. Why not let him donate his heart? It would be a meaningful thing to do.
And make his life worthwhile."
As soon as I said that,
Vivian and Martha instantly panicked
and turned pale.
No. Absolutely not.
As a doctor, I understand the value of life better than anyone. If he donates his heart, it lets his life live on in another way. Then I took out my phone and called Dr. Zhao. "Dr. Zhao, bring a body donation agreement over to the emergency room." Vivian and Martha were frantic,
desperately trying to stop me.
They kept pleading, and Leo was right there, so scared he started crying. He tugged at my clothes, begging,
"Grandma, please don't give Dad's heart away. I need my dad."
I didn't budge. After Dr. Zhao brought the agreement, I signed it without a second thought. I told Dr. Zhao to take the patient to the operating room. Prepare for the donation surgery immediately.
Arthur lay in bed, pretending to be dead, when he heard that his heart was about to be donated in the operating room.
He couldn't keep up the act any longer.
He bolted upright in bed, his face was deathly pale, and he screamed in terror.
"I'm not dead. I didn't kill myself. Don't take my heart, stay away from me."
And his screams completely exposed this absurd fake death scam. With the scam exposed, when Arthur saw the icy look in my eyes, he instantly lost his nerve. He dropped to his knees before me with a thud, and began to weep and beg for forgiveness.
"Mom, I was wrong. I was really wrong. I shouldn't have tried to scam you for money with that fake death. I shouldn't have exploited you or slandered you, and I definitely shouldn't have cut ties with you. Please forgive me this time. I promise I'll take good care of you from now on. I'll never make you angry again. Please, take back the severance agreement."
While Vivian and Martha also quickly knelt down and kept pleading.
"That's right, Mom. Please, for Leo's sake, forgive us one more time. We'll turn over a new leaf. We won't trouble you anymore."
I looked at their hypocritical faces. From the moment you kept scheming against me and hurting me, that's when between us there was no affection left. Repentance is useless. I will not forgive you. I looked at the three of them still kneeling on the ground and said firmly, "Arthur, you and Vivian are Leo's parents. You should take responsibility for raising him. Stop thinking about relying on others. All the property under my name, after I'm gone, will be entirely donated to charity. As for you, you won't get a single cent. The severance agreement is now officially in effect. I will pursue the $200,000 you owe me through all legal means. From now on, we have nothing to do with each other. Don't show your faces in front of me again, and don't try to harass me anymore." With that, I turned and left.
Without a shred of regret.
Behind me
came the sound of Arthur's heart-wrenching sobs, but I didn't look back.
Arthur slumped to the ground, watching my receding figure, crying his heart out, but he no longer had any right to keep me. After I left,
the mood in the hospital room instantly froze over. Arthur, Vivian, and Martha got up from the floor and started hurling blame and insults at each other.
Vivian started hitting and kicking Arthur. She cried out through her tears,
It's all your fault. If it weren't for your insatiable greed, we wouldn't be in this mess. And Mom wouldn't have cut us off for good.
Martha chimed in.
That's right. It's all because you don't know how to act right. You had no idea how to cherish the chance Mom gave you. Look where that got us. We've lost everything.
Arthur, stung by the criticism, snapped. He fired back.
It's all my fault? If it weren't for your stupid fake death scam, would we have been exposed? You're the one who stirred the pot, making Mom and me cut all ties.
The fight escalated. Vivian
Looked at the hopeless Arthur, and her heart sank with despair.
She grabbed Martha and Leo, shot a furious glare at Arthur, turned, and walked away. She never looked back. In the empty hospital room, only Arthur was left behind. He slumped to the floor. Finally, he saw the light. But by then, he had lost everything. He was left with nothing but endless regret.
1 year later, I've fully settled in as director, and become a competent hospital director. Every day, I'm on the front lines, seeing patients myself, leading consultations and often sending patients home when they recover. My days are full and free now, and that long-lost smile, it's finally back. Then one day, after work, I was leaving the hospital and spotted, not far off, Arthur and his family handing out flyers. They were in rags, looking utterly miserable. He saw me, stopped what he was doing right away, and hurried over. He was clutching an envelope tightly.
Mom, this is the $3,000 I saved up this year, just a partial payment for now. I'll work hard, I promise, and pay back every cent as soon as I can. I was wrong. I know that now.
I took it, without a word. Then I turned and walked away. As I walked, I thought of all his promises, his coldness, his greed, and the hurt, over and over. All those memories flooded back. No hate. No pity either. Just relief. He just stood there, watching me leave, head hung low, eyes full of regret, but it was too late for any of that. This mess that went on for years was finally over. We've both paid the price for our own choices.
The end.